Alright guys, we are doing episode 5. Oh, I'm so excited about this one. Maybe this will be good. But you know, I say that every time, maybe this one will be good. We're behind, believe it or not. We are super duper behind. So let me switch this over. We're about to get into it. And let's check out episode 5, The Rings of Power. Don't worry though, we're going to catch up with all of them. We're going to make sure we power through. Because the season's about to come to an end as the time I'm recording this. But we're going to power through. It's called The Halls of Stone.
The ground shakes. It's spread through the bones of the earth, collapsing our sun shafts.
Oh, no, no.
These rings...
No.
Power, yet they shall be rings of power.
Did you just insult my father?
We're going to be getting some more Numenor
This
stuff.
elf stone is...
Forbidden the forging of any more rings at all.
We have not the
Alright,
time
I'm kind of
to
sick of the
bandy words
recap.
about
Let's
convincing
get through it. Come on. Rings of Power. That was a long recap, wasn't it? Jeez. I mean, are they expecting people not to watch the previous episodes? That's another nice shot. That looks nice, the mountain range there. I wonder if it was CGI. Oh, that ring looks horrible. It looks like one of those gumdrops. Do you remember? I remember when I was a kid, there used to be these gumdrop rings. I haven't seen them, but I don't even remember where you'd get them. I think you would get them in those little machines that you put the quarter in and spin the little thingamajiggy. But you put the ring on, and on top of the ring was like a sucker, like like a pops. What are they called? A lollipop. I'm a man, so I don't really do those. But at the end it was like, and it was a ring that you would put on, and it was weird. This is what it reminds me of, looking at that. So he's got his ring made. Whoa, hold on a second. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they made 7. They made 7 rings for the dwarves. Who are all these other rings for, though? They haven't introduced any of the other dwarven lords. I was wondering about that, whenever their civilization began to become crippled because the sun and they couldn't make salads anymore. I was thinking, if they wanted to reach out, couldn't they reach out to like another dwarven kingdom? But they haven't shown any other dwarven kingdom. So who are these rings for? Why did they make 7? Did they mention that? Did they mention other dwarven kingdoms? I don't remember.
To try to reach the sunlight. Yeah, well, thus far, and every effort has only made the mountain more unstable. Something the matter, sire?
He's losing his mind.
Sire, that's a foundation wall. This is where we are meant to dig.
So the ring is showing him where to dig? Look at his face.
Give me your axe.
Durin's like,
Father. Axe!
If it's a foundation wall, wouldn't it bring everything down? Look at that axe. Look at that thing. It looks like it's completely made out of, like rubber, It's like something, it doesn't even look like a real axe. It kind of looks like something you'd buy at Walmart for like if it's Halloween and or like at a Party City kind of store, you know what I mean? Like it looks like it would maybe cost 10 or 15 bucks. But the whole thing is just rubber. It doesn't even look like a real axe. I guess I'm nitpicking here, but it was striking. Like I noticed it when it handed it to him. It doesn't even look heavy.
Sire, don't you think you better stop for some air?
It's light.
Because you're dwarves who live underground. I'm down.
Don't, father, no!
Next time I order you to dig, you do so.
So the ring showed him where to dig, but they said it was a foundation wall. Why wouldn't the dwarves already know that? Why does he need a magic ring? These are like masters of mining, aren't they? Wouldn't they have the entire mountain like scoped out and planned out, and they know exactly the length and breadth, and it didn't even look that far from the surface. Like it looked like it was maybe 10 feet from the outside. I don't really know how it works, so maybe I'm wrong about this, but wouldn't they, like, as they're hitting and mining and stuff, wouldn't they be able to tell, like, oh wow, this wall, you can tell it's not as, connected because the outside is just on the other side, like the way it reverberates and stuff? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But that just seems like I'm watching this and I'm just kind of thinking to myself, why wouldn't the dwarves already know that? Why wouldn't they know exactly where to dig? They're dwarves. Like that's the one thing they're good at. And mining and forging and stuff.
Here. Pity those who dwell above, slaves to the sun, chained to its ceaseless rhythm of waking and sleep.
Look at that. Like, it's not even 2 feet deep. It's not even 2 feet deep. How close to the outside? They didn't know that? Like, this wall is like an apartment wall, you know? It's like a couple feet outside from where the surface is. If they hit it, why wouldn't they be able to tell, like, you know, just to feel how hollow it would feel, you know what I mean? It seems like a stretch to me, like, they wouldn't need that. Unless they're stupid.
In Kazakh Doom, we are free of its tyranny.
Wait, what did he just say? I think I missed it.
The sun to us. At last.
They're free of its tyranny. The tyranny of the sun. That reminds me of the Dawnguard questline in Skyrim, which was such a stupid premise for the whole thing, because it's like all the vampires, you can go outside in the sun, it just kind of bothers them. It doesn't hurt them. And then you have Harkon, he's like, oh man, we'll free ourselves from the tyranny of the sun. But it's like, well, yeah, but it doesn't kill you. I mean, you know, if you're a vampire, you know what I mean? So this whole thing, this is kind of weird. If you don't know, if you haven't played the game, you don't know what I'm talking about. This is kind of weird, though. Free yourself from the tyranny of the sun, but you're going to bring it there. How are you... That didn't make sense to me. How are you going to free yourself from its tyranny, but you're still relying completely on it? I don't understand why they would rely on it so much anyway. Speaking of Skyrim, why don't these dwarves, if they want the sun so much... What would be cool is if they constructed like this giant kind of artificial sun, like the Dwemer underground, you know, if you wanted that to radiate and make lights and control your crops and stuff. Wouldn't the dwarves create something like that instead of, I don't know, this? Ooh, look at that dwarf. She's ugly. Oh, look at the women. They're pissed. Why are they upset?
Elves working together.
That's what you wanted, isn't it?
To be impossible.
And we're back in Eregion. Why are the women upset? No, it seems a little strange, you know, like, it just seems weird. So that's what the power of the ring does, this dwarven ring. Like a Funko Pop kind of thing, Majiggy. So he has these rings, these 7 rings of power now. We only have one dwarf lord, and then Durin, his son, I guess, would count. But he's not the lord now. And he can go around and just feel where you're supposed to be able to crack the $10 plastic axe into the wall, the 2-foot wall where the surface is just on the outside. I don't know, man. This just seems... Man, I was so... You know, it's been a few weeks since I've been able to watch this. I've gotten behind. I got a little sick, and I had some other stuff to take care of, so I'm behind. And I was excited to get into this, to be honest with you. But, yeah, not the best start for episode 5. I don't understand why they would need the ring. Why that would matter, even in the first place. Why that would even be important. What the purpose of that is. The whole time I'm watching that, all of this whole scene here, as he's going through, it's just like... Why wouldn't the dwarves be capable of doing that? They are masters at this kind of stuff. They know exactly what they're doing. Not to mention the whole kind of premise of it just being on, you know, it's because they don't have salads. They could trade with the elves if there aren't any other dwarf lords around. They're working with the elves already, aren't they? And what about, like, hunting game and meat and stuff like that? And I don't know, like, it's just... The whole fact that they can't have sun coming into the mountain, I'm basing it off of every other thing I've ever seen in the Lord of the Rings universe. Like in Khazad-dûm, there was barely any light coming in whenever Gandalf and the Fellowship were exploring Khazad-dûm in the, is it the First Age? And it didn't look like any of that light was meant to shine up and light the underground area. And then when you ever go into the Lonely Mountain, Erebor, and you go through that kingdom, there's barely any windows or anything. And then if it is, it's like nice, like there's the opening where there's windows and stuff where the main gate is, but they have fires and forges and lanterns and candles and all this other stuff in there, and it just didn't look like it was never something that really stuck out to me. Like, they are under the mountain, the dwarves live in the earth, so to be dependent on the sun, and even the king right there just mentions, he's like, we're going to be free of the tyranny of the sun. But no, you're not. You're proving that you're completely dependent on it, because your whole civilization was about to fall under if you didn't open up the windows and stuff. I feel like they could have came up with something better than that. Like, the reason that, evil is spreading, and which we still don't even know. I don't even get that. But why the dwarves would even need the rings in the first place? I heard someone in the comments tell me that basically Sauron, he only gave one dwarven ring. Like, one dwarven ring, I think, was given from Celebrimbor to his friend Durin, because they were friends. And that was the only dwarven ring given. And Sauron came in and stole the other ones and killed Celebrimbor, and then he distributed them. That makes more sense to me. The lore experts will let me know. But this narrative right here, it really falls apart the moment you start thinking about it. I don't know. We'll see. Let's keep going.